Good afternoon. I'm joined by Pete Carrigan from Scone Equine Hospital. So good afternoon, Pete.
Thank you.
Great to have you along. The reason that we thought we'd take a little bit of time out, quite clearly a big part of Australia is in drought, and we're not immune in the Upper Hunter here, one of the hardest hit. So thought we'd get some thoughts from Pete in terms of the breeding season's in full swing. We've seen the first foals born in this neck of the woods, and really what are some of the, I guess, hints and tips from his perspective in terms of nutrition and care for horses through a drought period. So, Pete, can you talk us through some of those?
Yeah, no worries. So I suppose, as you said, David, moving into spring now, we're starting to see some foals hit the ground. I suppose we need to keep an eye on the nutrition for our mares, late gestation, through the foaling period, in the post-foaling period. In the late gestational period, mare's nutrition has a massive impact on the foal's growth and also their development and maturity when they are born, and their strength. So certainly providing adequate nutrition in the late gestational period, and then through into the foaling period, where nutrition directly impacts the lactating potential of a mare, and in turn what nutrition the foal is receiving. So it is certainly important to supplementary feed at this time of year with the season we're having. Supplementary feeding, depending on your situation, may be as simple as providing some hard feed, some concentrates if you do have some dry feed around the place, but certainly in my travels it seems to be quite bare everywhere. So supplementing roughage in the form of hay on top of that as well, so that we're covering both your protein, sugar, which is energy, and fat intake with the hard feeds, and then also adding in that roughage so to keep the hide and gut nice and healthy. They seem to be sort of where you sort of need to attack. Also with that at the moment, as I mentioned previously, we're starting to see some unusual feed sources starting to enter the area. So certainly talking with your vet, the DPI vets, the LLS, about the unusual feed sources, because certainly what's suitable for cattle is certainly not suitable for horses. And we are seeing the occasional case of these unusual feed sources causing issues in horses, not just those late gestational mares, but just any horse. Certainly be worthwhile talking to someone before you start. I'm not saying those unusual feed sources may not be useful, but certainly seeking some advice before using them.
Great. All right. So, I guess just to sort of summarise, key points being always seek advice. You get a good indication in terms of looking at the horse and getting an understanding in terms of what the requirements might be. So, anything else you could add in terms of hints and tips for people out there?
Yeah. So certainly, there are tables and diagrams that you can use to ensure that you are providing adequate nutrition to your horse, but at the end of the day, you can't be looking at your horse and assessing your horse individually. Assessing for fat coverage, assessing their faeces. You want good, stable, moist faeces. I know that sounds a little bit disgusting, but certainly you can't be looking at your horse.
Right. Okay.
Certainly you can't beat that. And on that point, also on an individual horse need, you also need to assess to make sure your horse is maximising their potential with the supplementary feeding you're providing, is to make sure that you adequate dental health, so getting a dental examination done, making sure they're utilising that feed as best as they can, and also deworming. Moving into spring, it's the highest period of parasite transmission, gastrointestinal parasite transmission. So moving into spring, I think that also make sure you're on top of your parasite control as well.
Great. Well, look, we really value the relationship with Scone Equine Hospital, and it's been great to have Pete along with us this afternoon. So hopefully you've taken a couple of pieces out of that will help you, during this very tough time. So thanks for joining us. Thank you, Pete.
Thank you.